You may have noticed that sometimes when there's something wrong with your ears, your nose, or your throat are also affected. That's because these body parts are all interconnected, making it all the more important to care for each of them. Let's get tips now from Doctor Maria Lourdes Enecilla, ENT specialist and head and neck surgeon. Doc, thank you so much for joining us. Share with us, if you have problems with the nose, let's say the ears and the throat, are they all interconnected? And could we basically have the same kind of conditions or diseases if it materializes?
Yes, yes, sir. There are some diseases that would manifest for the nose, the ears, and the throat. For example, if your nose is very, very blocked, then that blockage can also translate into the ears. So like, for example, you've experienced it like when you're in an airplane and you happen to have a cold at that time, you will feel that as the plane ascends, you feel that pressure in your ear, right? Or when you blow your nose forcefully, you feel like some of the mucus goes to your ears and you feel that blockage too. And then the mucus can also go down to your throat and cause throat pain. So yes, a problem in one can really actually also affect problems in the other parts.
So Doc, what are the common ear, nose, and throat conditions?
Okay, the most common still would be infections. The ears, the nose, and the throat are pretty much on the surface, so they can easily get infected. You know, manipulating or cleaning our ears too much can actually cause harm rather than good, you know, cause abrasions and cause infection. Our nose is our sort of first defense for the air that we breathe in. It's the one that traps the particles in the air, the viruses, the bacteria. So it protects the lungs, but it can also be prone to infection. So an adult can have the common cold or viral rhinitis like 4 times a year, and that's still common. And your throat, yes, it can also get irritated, whether from cold, whether from mucus or from some of the foods we eat, or bacterial infections and viral infections as well. Those are the most common problems that we would face for the throat, aside from irritations from the food that we eat.
And of course, over the past 2.5 years, when we have COVID, they would always say, oh, I have a sore throat. And that could be one of the symptoms for you to have COVID, doctor.
Yes, yes. It's been a scare for all of us to have nasal symptoms and throat problems because we're always afraid it's COVID. In a way, it's good because people started to value or put attention to nose and throat problems. Okay, not everything is COVID, but if you do feel pain and problems in your nose and throat, it's best to see your doctor. It is most likely infection if there's also fever, but there are other problems like allergic rhinitis, you know, when the trigger is things in the air, allergens, irritants.
And so what is the best way to
It's
take care
irritation
of
in your
our
nose and
ear,
throat.
nose, and throat, Dr. Enecilla?
Sorry, the best way to care for our nose and
Yes, to
throat?
take care
That's
of our
correct.
ear, nose, and throat. What's the best way to manage it?
Yeah. So yes, generally for any part of our body, not to abuse it. So for the ears, don't expose your ears to too much loud sounds. Too much use of earphones is not good. Too much exposure to loud sounds. For your nose, don't blow too forcefully. Don't put things inside your nose or nasal sprays that are not prescribed or advised by your doctor. A lot of different nasal sprays came out in the market the past years. Be careful of what you put in your nose. And for your throat, hydrate. You know, drink lots of water. If your voice is getting hoarse, it's your body telling you that you're overusing your voice and it's time to rest your voice.
You were also a neck surgeon, doctor. What are the common problems when it comes to our neck?
Okay, for the neck, it could be muscular problems. It's pretty common now with the use of devices and long hours in front of the computer. But you can also have mga bukol or like nodules that you would feel in your neck. So we have lymph nodes there, and you also have your thyroid gland there. And a growth in your thyroid is pretty common in the Filipino population. So if you feel a small nodule there that comes out together with cough and colds, and it's a little bit painful, it just might be part of the infection. But if you see something growing and staying there for more than 2 weeks, it's time to see your doctor for a checkup if it's something else or something more serious.
Of course, the neck is also controlled to our lower back, no? And if we're experiencing some stiff neck or lower back issues, is it proper to see a chiropractor first or a doctor?
Well, I would advise first, of course, see a doctor. We have to check if it's related to your posture, it's related to your position, or maybe even something else, that there's something else that's wrong. So it's best to check with a doctor first about the cause of the neck pain, the neck stiffness, if that is
Doctor,
the problem.
thank you so much for your advice on ear, nose, and throat and neck problems. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. ENT specialist and head and neck surgeon, Doctor Maria Lourdes Enecilla. You can get more health advice on Med Talk Health Talk, hosted by Dr. Freddy Gomez, airing weekdays at 3:30 in the afternoon.